Om Namo Narayanaya. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. I've been listening to some Emerson, Lake and Palmer recently, and that's such a great line, but it works for our reading. That was my flub. We keep reading more. I keep reading more, and some of it sounds familiar, some of it doesn't, some of it's new, some of it we have seen reference to. It never ends. But yet, this is such a great journey that's okay. We don't have to read it all. We don't have to get it all. It's an endless journey that, inspires us, and we hope others are inspired, and we keep learning from it. I can't really put into words what I mean, other than to compare it to music and say, if you love music, you don't one day just stop listening to everything except what's already on your MP3 player. You continue to look for new music. Maybe it was music made 50 years ago. Maybe it's something on the charts now. Maybe it's an artist you know or an artist you don't know, but you're always looking for something new. You're never going to hear all the music. And that's okay, and that's exciting, and for some strange reason, you always want to hear something new. Not because you don't like what you have, or not because you haven't heard what you have enough, but it's something strange that pulls you. Maybe it's a feeling of, if I listen to enough music, I'll have some revelation. I've often thought that, like, we're searching for something. It's not that we want better and better, but it's that we want something that will change our lives. I don't know. So anyways, welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Today I'm reading some new music. This is something I just discovered like 2 weeks ago on a website, going through a bunch of old writings. I'm like, oh, this is so cool, I have to read this. So this is the Janapana, in English called the Pot of Knowledge, but in common language it is known as the Bhagavad Gita of Malayalam. Might be mispronouncing that, probably am. It is written by a forgotten name, someone named Punthanam. Malayalam is a language, and so the story goes that Punthanaman, who was born 400 or 500 years ago in India, got married and had a son, and on his son's first birthday, the child fell into a bowl of rice and died instantly. Punthanam wanted to express his feelings at this tragedy, but he didn't know Sanskrit, so he turned to instead his language of Malayalam. Now, maybe this was his native tongue, maybe this was something else. And from there, he just poured out what we're going to read today. Now, I don't know what else he has written, though from the introduction that I just read parts of, it looks like he did end up writing other things. And he is credited as a forerunner of the Bhakti cult in his part of India. Some of you may know this. Please put some links down below if you do. When I post up the video, usually I do go to Wikipedia and whatever and put up a few things. I have not read this, just briefly looked over it, and it looked really great. So let's dive into this right now, and excuse the long introduction. So here we go. Request I for the grace from my Guru without fail, so that the Lord's holy names are always on my tongue, and continue to be there forever without change, so that this, our human birth, becomes most fruitful. We do not know what we were in the last birth. We do not know what we will be in the next. Even in this birth, in this body, we do not know when all this is going to end. The people who are seen by all of us now, you are the one who makes them not to be seen in the world. In a matter of a day or two, you are he who makes them ride on the royal chair. On the shoulder of the king who climbs to the top of the palace, you are he who places the tattered heap. Some people are able to know when they see it, but others do not know even if they see it. Some people know that all what we see is not the truth, for they have seen it earlier and experienced it. Even in these assemblies of men, remember there are many special kinds of minds. With an aim that a lot of people should realize, our religious science has made many paths to follow. For those who can choose the path, many a path of action exists, like those that make one realize the veil covering the truth, or the methods of yoga depending upon one's own limits. But they are of limited use, for they are all intricate in this rotating wheel of life, of births and rebirths, to teach us who gets caught and toils in this wheel. Those great ones who have realized have showered upon us many a truth with grace to attain salvation with ease, and so all of you, please listen with care. Please know first that the thing which ties us all is the karma that we have done earlier. Each part of this world that we knew earlier became only one form of an ethereal light during the deluge, with nothing attaching to it, with it not attaching to anything. And for those seekers who search minutely, one by one, it becomes the one thing through which everything is known. And for those whose minds flit and wander, it becomes something which is the great unknown, similar but dissimilar to each other, but altogether the spirit of the soul. And it seems was made by God, again with all the three worlds as its parts. This world, which is made by one veil of ignorance, has three differing types of actions: sins, good deeds, and a mixture of these, which, when we think deep, ties the soul firmly to this world. A chain of gold we think we are tied, but it is no different from an iron chain. And this chain of karma that ties us to this world is no different but a mixture of these two. Though taking the side of eternal truth, all are bound to this world by karma, for the worlds continue to be made, to the end marked by the deluge. And to go against these ties of karma is definitely not an easy task, even for Brahma. And even those divine eight who guard the directions are chained strongly in their respective places. We who have done but little karma, in a small span of time, enter and leave the wombs of different animals, and play thus with the karma that we have earned. Those souls who lie in the hell after suffering all the punishments there, and after getting a reformed mind over time, are born as men. If good deeds are done, they go above and enjoy their life in heaven. When all the rewards for good deeds are done, those who do not have an iota of reformed mind, after some time, are born in the earth, and then those dying after doing bad deeds, do the result of them, do go and fall in different hells. A soul from the land of gods is born as man in this earth. People who do cruel acts in this birth are born as outcasts in this earth. The anti-gods are born as demigods. The deathless ones are born as trees. The goat dies and is born as an elephant. The elephant becomes a goat after death. The tiger dies and is born as a man. A lady dies and is born as a fox. The king who troubles without mercy after death is born as a worm. The fly dies and becomes a cat. And all these are but the divine sport. These souls who run between the top and the bottom, it seems, do not get the karmas done only in this earth. And without limits, these different karmas are done by the souls only in this earth. After doing which, after their death, they go to various worlds of heaven and hell, and enjoy the rewards for these karmas. And those rewards would end before long, and they come again here and start earning karmas, which is like taking money from one's own house and using it in some other place, selling what we have till it lasts. Please know that this is our motherland. It is the land to do karmas, and it is definitely impossible to destroy the residual karmas anywhere else. To the devotees great, to those who seek salvation, and to those who pine for ordinary things, this motherland of ours would grant whatever they want, God, O God. The innate qualities of our Lord of the world obviously thrives as this world. To save and upkeep this earth of ours, incarnations took place, it seems, and because of this, the earth specially is greatest among the 14 worlds. So tell those who are experts in Vedas, and so praise the Vedas about this earth. In the huge sea of salt exist the Jambu Islands, 10 lakh miles long. Within it are the 7 islands, praised by scriptures as most holy. In the peak and center of the lotus of this earth stands the mountain of Mahameru, and there are 9 major parts of this earth, and the most sacred is the Bharatha country. The great recognized sages tell this as the temple of sacred duty. The source of all karma is this land, even for those great souls in Brahmaloka, and it is here only that karma is destroyed. If one desires salvation, and though it is for sure that these can't be easily done anywhere else other than in Bharatha Ganda. Please do remember that this land of Bharatha is the most sacred land known, and in this vast time period, this Kali time period, leads to salvation most easily. Please know that there is no effort except singing for the holy names Krishna Krishna, Mukunda, Janardhana, Krishna, Govinda, and Rama. Thinking about those living in the other 13 worlds, those living in the 6 other islands, those living in the other 8 countries, and those living in the other 3 time periods, realizing that they would not get salvation easily with folded hands, do salutations to the country of Bharata and the time period of Kali. To be at least a grass in that country and be born now in this time period, we were not lucky enough, O God. And so our solutions to the men of Bharatha country and Kali time period. Why do we tell that all those who are not here sing our praise thus? Is not this the time period Kali, and are we not living in the country of Bharatha? And are we not born as human beings? All of you, please think about this. Should we go without the names of Hari? Should we be less afraid of going to hell? Should we live without a tongue? Alas, alas, without proper thought, we destroy our lives in vain. What an effort we put to be born now because of the good deeds that we did. Many lives have we spent in shit, many lives have we spent in water, many lives have we spent in mud, many lives have we spent in trees, many lives have we moved around afraid of death, many lives have we spent as birds, and many lives have we spent as beast and cow, before we were born as men. Please know that it is without lots of effort that we fall in the womb of our mother, spend 10 months in her stomach, 10 to 12 years we spend as playful kids, and after this, thinking that we only do everything, we spend our time without knowing ourselves. There is nothing truthfully known as to how long we will live. In the body, which is like a water bubble, we see it filled up always, and when we put efforts without thought, we can tell that this bubble will only burst. In this very limited time, we do not sing the holy names. Boasting about their positions and posts, some people walk in the world ever ashamed, thinking about their abilities and disabilities of others. People walk in the world with a diseased brain, entering the houses of pretty damsels with flitting eyes. Some people walk in the world like a circus monkey, employed by the king and the government. Some people walk in the world heavily made up, employed for worshipping gods. Some people walk in the world with thoughts of their time after dusk. For mother and for father and for wives, there are some who do not care to look after them. The wife married with fire as witness is not even seen in a dream by some. When good people think and advise, there are some who look at them as enemies. When people worthy of salutations are seen, there are some who berate and curse them. Thus the world stands. Boast some people because of their talk. Raising and raising by the axe of Brahmana, some people claim that they are better than Lord Brahma. To earn money and get titles, some people do yagas in the fire, and some people sell jewelry and gold to earn money without limit. Using elephants for trade, using thoroughbred horses, and not only that, by use of ships, how much money is earned? Alas, alas. Disregarding the family jobs and becoming bores and rascals. How much we destroy ourselves with avarice for money. Never will we get satiated by earning more and more money. When we get 10, we say 100 is sufficient. When we get 100, we say 1,000 is sufficient. When we save 1,000 coins, we say more will be wonderful, and like this, the rope of desire without roots reaches more and more heights. When pious people beg for doing good deeds, some bad people will not even give a little. At the time of death, even the cloths that they wear cannot be taken with them by anyone. Without feeling an iota of remorse, they consider deceiving of those who trust because of the attachment for money. Alas, some people even forget the truth. Since the truth is Brahman, definitely, the learned consider this as the only truth. Gaining knowledge and not knowing what should be known, some people act as if they are the learned ones. It is like the donkey carrying kumkuman without even knowing the smell of it. Krishna, Krishna. When we think about it, people always get wonderstruck with avarice. Slowly and slowly reduces the span of life, and with speed and more speed climb our desires. The Onam has come, and the Vishu is over, and the Thiruvadira has not come, and our birthday falls on Aswini in the month of February, March, and there is death anniversary in the month of October, November. It's not easy to hold feasts from now on. After the marriage of our son, we would like to see a son born to him in the land which came under our control. We should not stop receiving the rent. When thinking like this and that, alas, some people die and go. Why was all these special things told? All of you think as much as possible about the largeness of karma done, and about how we have taken many births already, about how the present is the Kali time period, about the largeness of the country of Bharata, and how all these days we were born there, and how all the past period was spent without meaning, about how we do not have much lifespan left, about how we were healthy all along, and how by singing of holy names of God all fortunes would come about how the fear of the future hell has to be thought about today. Why are you wasting time unnecessarily? All of you, please go to Vaikuntha. We were not born together, nor are we going to die together. In between, when we meet each other, why should we compete with each other unnecessarily? When we should really long for salvation. Why do we madly pursue the gain of wealth? When the sun shines bright in the noon, should we long for the firefly? When the little baby Krishna is playing in the mine, do we need other babies as our sons? We do have a large bevy of friends. Shiva, Shiva. For are there not devotees of Vishnu in this world? When we see the attractive play of this enchanting veil, the play of love of our wife is but a child's play. All the wealth in this world, in this house of earth for us. Lord Vishwanatha is our Father, and the mother of us all is this moving whole earth. We have thus both the Father and the Mother, and these parents would look after us forever. We have good food as alms, and only eating remains to be done. Always without attachments, and always with extreme devotion, we should chant the names of God, till the lifespan allotted to us is over, and like this all of us should live. We should praise all the beings that we see, leaving the sense of shame, filled with tears of joy, and leaving out insults. We should fall at the feet when we see holy people around, and then drowning in the sense of devotion like a drunkard, we should dance. If we travel in this world thus, all problems would run away from us. When the karma as per fate is over, the body falls in one place, and seeing the Brahman which was ever longed for, immediately the soul jumps towards it. When wandering after desires have left, thinking that we are not yet ready for salvation, please do not develop self-pity, and hear the greatness of God's holy name, even if one belongs to the lowest caste, or a learned higher caste who is expert in Vedas, except those who are born without tongue, and who are made dumb by nature. Out of the uncountable holy names of God, at least one, once in every day, at least when happy and contented, or at least in dreams without our control, or at least teasing him as some other, or at least for the sake of someone else, wherever we are, if we tell without our tongue, or at least if else, hear the name with our ear, we will get salvation then and there, and would become one with God. And so say Sridhara, the great scholar, and the sage Vyasa, who wrote the Puranas. Even the Bhagavad Gita says the same, and also so say the Vedas with respect. So sing God's holy names easily, and with joy become one with God. For those aiming at salvation, this book is sufficient, for it sings about the greatness of God's holy names, with errors or without errors. Please grant me your grace, O my God. I will say I had to add and change some words to make some sentences a little more understandable. This was translated in a way that was a bit tough, but hopefully you understood everything. And if you didn't, go back to that last paragraph. Sing God's holy names. That's it. That's all we need now in the Kali Yuga. All the books say that. There's nothing I need to say about this. You either got it or you don't. If you don't, feel free to comment below. If you don't understand it, feel free to comment below. If you disagree, hey, would love to hear from that too. Otherwise, there's really only one thing left to say in this video. Thank you for watching, and Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.